everybody, and welcome to my video. As you've probably seen from the title of this video, I have an announcement to make, something I want to chat with you guys about, and I thought I would do that while I was actually crafting something because I've wanted to craft a little something for a while. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I'm not going to say wait till the end of the video to hear the announcement. I'm going to be talking about why I am leaving Stampin' Up and what is ahead for me here on YouTube, and none of it will probably come as a surprise to any of you, but I thought I would jump into voiceover mode, talk about why I'm making the decision, what has happened in the last few months, and also share some photos. I think I'm gonna dig into my photos over from the last, several years. I've been with Stampin' Up for 12 years, and I thought I would share some photos from that time and chat with you about it. So if you were just clicking to hear the announcement, that's the announcement. And if you don't want to stay for the chit chat and all of the reasonings and things that have happened, you can click off. If you want to hang out and hear some of what is happening and what is to come, I would love for you to do that and spend some time with me. So that's what we'll be chatting about. I am going to be making a fall paper wreath. And I've been wanting to do this, and unfortunately today I started looking through to grab some fall paper, and I only have one fall paper pack, and it didn't have that much in it. It was this set from Close to My Heart from, I think, several years ago. So I pulled that out, and then I pulled some just plain colored pieces from my stash, and then I happened to have a 6x6 pack that had some fall colors that went with that. So I'm gonna be chopping this paper up. I'm gonna be using my scoreboard, and I'm gonna try to remember how to do this. And we're gonna jump into voiceover mode, and we're gonna have a little chat. So if you're sticking around, thank you so much for sticking around and hearing my reasoning and my story and just sharing some of the things that have gone on in the last few months and what I'm looking forward to. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're popping off the video and you're like, that's great, I just wanted to know what you were talking about, thanks for clicking on the video, and I'll catch you in my next crafty video. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get to crafting. I'm going to explain really quick what I'm doing just in case you've never made this kind of paper wreath. All I'm doing is I'm going to cut some strips down. I'm going to do them at different sizes, and then I will score at every 1/4 inch, and then I will make they're not pinwheels, I forget what they're called, rosettes, that's what they're called. You make little rosettes and then you put them together in a round circle and you make a wreath. I have one for Valentine's Day. I have one for Christmas that a friend made for me many years ago. These hold up great. So many years ago, probably 15 years ago, she made it for me. I hang it up every Christmas. And then I also have one for summer, so I wanted to have one for fall. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut the strips down, we're going to score them, we're going to make rosettes, and then we're going to hot glue a whole bunch of stuff together. So let's dive into my announcement. I am leaving Stampin' Up. This will be my last month with Stampin' Up. My last day with Stampin' Up will be September 20th. That's when I will be resigning, and I will no longer be a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Now, for many of you here, you know I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator a really long time, like 12 or 13 years, just about. And I already had a YouTube channel. My friend Wendy Cranford and I started this YouTube channel together 15 years ago or so. Right when YouTube was starting, right when it was first getting started, I had gotten married and I had moved 4 hours away, and we wanted to craft together, and we were both getting into the Cricut, and so we started a YouTube channel, and we did that for a couple years together. And during my time when I was married and living far away, I lived in the middle of nowhere. Like, the closest crafting store, it wasn't really all that close. I would go to Michael's, I would buy cardstock, I would never be able to find like the same color twice. It was just something that I struggled with, and I found Stampin' Up. I actually watched My Pink Stamper, and she wasn't a demonstrator at the time. She was just doing crafting videos, and she was doing Cricut videos, but she always talked about Stampin' Up product. And I wanted to find some stamp pads that I could re-ink that were really good quality. And so I got online and I looked up the closest Stampin' Up demonstrator to me, and I asked her to come do a home party. And I will cut right here to a photo and show you the very first cards I ever made. So these are it. These are the very first cards I ever made. I was not a card maker. I did not know anything about card making. I didn't own any stamps. I was memory keeping, and that has always been my first love. I've always loved memory keeping, making scrapbooking pages. I did not know anything about card making. So these were the very first cards that I made, and I fell in love with cherry cobbler cardstock and early espresso. I thought they were the most beautiful colors I had ever seen. And I shared that with Wendy and said, I really love this cardstock. I really love, it's so nice. It cuts on the Cricut really nice. And I really love it. And I started ordering from Stampin' Up. Now, fast forward, some of you have heard the story before. Wendy ended up joining Stampin' Up. We joined together to share the discount. I was never interested in selling it. I just really wanted the discount. I wanted to be able, it was so nice to be able to order my product and it came right to my house and the quality was really great and I really loved it. And so we joined sort of together to get the discount together, and then Wendy ended up deciding to sell it and to become a full-time demonstrator, and that was great. And I really didn't have any interest in joining Stampin' Up in the sense of joining to sell anything. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It's not my favorite thing. And to be honest, I thought it was a scam to sign up. And I just thought it's just another one of those companies where you lose a bunch of money, basically. A few months later, a few years later, Wendy needed some help with the next promotion in her journey and asked me to join, and some things had changed for Stampin' Up, and so I thought, well, I'll just join, I'll help her out, and that will be the end of it. And so I did, and I had no intention of selling it, but I already had a YouTube channel. I had already been on YouTube for several years. I was already crafting, and people just started purchasing. I would just, I said, like, I'm a demonstrator, I joined, and, if you want to purchase something from me, if you want to, join with me, you can. And very quickly, things took off for me. And within a year, I was in the top 100. The following year, I had kind of joined at the beginning-ish of that year. And by the end of that year, I was in the top 100. I earned Founder Circle. I earned the incentive trip, and it was a little bit of a whirlwind. And at the end of that year, my husband changed jobs, and it just so happened that when he did, I had earned Founder Circle, I had earned the incentive trip, I had earned several bonuses, and that transition of about 6 weeks as he was starting his new job, I was really able to supplement our income, and we weren't worried about the transition because I had earned so many bonuses. And I thought, wow, this could be a real opportunity for me to be able to stay home, homeschool my kids. At the time, that was my goal, was to homeschool them and to be able to be home with them and make a little bit of extra money. And so that's what I started doing. I became a full-time demonstrator. I started doing classes and just started really having fun. I was able to go to Founder Circle that year. I'll cut into a few more photos here of when I went to Founder Circle and visited the home office. It was incredibly fun to visit the warehouse and the home office. It was an incredible 5 days I spent at Founder Circle, being able to do all of these amazing things. I come from a very broken home life as a child. I didn't ever get to travel or do any of these things. And so Stampin' Up! Really opened up my whole world, and I was able to travel and meet so many people. And I really, in this time, fell in love with the company and thought the company was really amazing. And I really appreciated the experiences I was getting to have and the people I was getting to meet. And it was really a very wonderful experience. And I don't ever want to take away from that experience that I had. I came back from that trip from Founders Circle and really dove all into being a full-time demonstrator and doing classes. And I did mainly everything online because I was already online. I never really had to make that decision about doing it in person or doing it online because I just naturally was online. I love having a YouTube channel. I didn't love it. I do love it. I love being able to create and share. And that is why I started a YouTube channel to begin with. It's why I started a website. It's why I do this, is because I love crafting and I love sharing it with other people. And so I was able to, in those first few years, I was able to earn several incentive trips. I'll cut into my husband and I at Washington, D.C., which was my first incentive trip right here. On a personal note, this was a really incredible trip for my husband and I. I had gone through a major sickness. We had 3 kids in a very short amount of time. We had moved 3 or 4 times at this point. It was very early in our marriage and we were struggling a lot. And this trip to Washington, D.C., it really saved our marriage. It really allowed us to reconnect and have time together and to just have a reset. And I will always appreciate earning this particular trip to DC. It will always hold very fond memories for me because of that. But it was the first incentive trip that I earned. And I will just say, as a side note, these are trips and experiences that you earn when you're in this. It's a lot of work doing this. It's something that I love doing. I love it so much and I appreciate being able to do it, but it is a lot of work that goes into it. And I just dove in and I started taking classes and learning how to do it and taking training through Stampin' Up, and I really came to love what I was doing. And the thing is, as a few years went on, Wendy and I, we started a in-person card class. I'm going to share some photos here in a minute of that. But I want to preference this by saying I was never a card maker. And I feel like this is something that I struggled with for a long time with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up does not support memory keeping. They've done things in the past where I've had hope, and I've worked with Stampin' Up. I've had calls with people in the main office talking about memory keeping, and I really try to insert myself into Stampin' Up to help them or change that atmosphere of supporting memory keeping. But I was also going full forward with card making. And like I said, Wendy and I did a in-person card class locally, and it was so much fun. Again, I met so many friends. Many of you know Chris. We've done stuff on the channel together. Christy is somebody who started following Wendy and I when we first started our YouTube channel, when we were two chicks and a cricket. And then she has become a great friend. And it was so fun doing that. But the thing is that I was never a card maker. And around the time that COVID happened, I really started feeling burnt out. And I just felt like, maybe I was just burnt out from doing all of the things. But since then, over the last several years, what I really realized is I never was a card maker. I don't enjoy making cards. I know so many of you follow me for card making and have been here because I was card making, but it was just not something that I ever loved doing. In the last 6 months, since the beginning of the year, as I've really pulled back and I've stopped making cards on my channel, I have made maybe 1 card this entire year, and it's not, it's just because it's not my favorite thing to do. I am a memory keeper and I love memory keeping. So let me just share with you this last year what has happened to lead me to deciding to no longer be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. At the beginning of the year, I pulled back and I said, I'm not going to do this full time anymore. I'm not doing paper parties. I'm not doing card making. I'm not doing kits. I am focusing on memory keeping, and I made that shift. And originally, my thought process was I would just make that shift. I would continue to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I would get the discount, but I just wouldn't be doing all the things full time. Let me just share a little bit of why that changed. Over the last year or so, Stampin' Up! Has been in the news and not such a great situation. If you know, then you know what I'm talking. If you don't know, then you can Google it. It will come up. I've been very disappointed about the situation that has taken place, and it just has made me feel like I didn't want to be a part of Stampin' Up! That was the first thing that really started to happen and started to ramp up over the last few months. The second thing that really just started becoming a problem is Stampin' Up! Has struggled with lots of different things on the back end. If you're a customer, you know it's been hard to get product. Things go out of stock. The communication on the back end with Stampin' Up! Has not been great. And they just, in general, have not supported memory keeping, scrapbooking, products, or that kind of crafting. I've worked with Stampin' Up! I've talked to people, higher up people in Stampin' Up! About memory keeping, and it was never a priority. Now, I know there has been things that have happened with Close to My Heart. I did a video about that. And Close to My Heart closing, makers coming over and coming into Stampin' Up. I'm not going to get into a ton of feelings or details about that. It has happened, I know. I've not had a great experience with some of the changeover in coming into Stampin' Up. In fact, I just got a very nasty comment this weekend about Stampin' Up! And memory keeping and what they're doing. I will say I do know that they are coming out with memory keeping stuff, and here's just my honest heart as, you know, I hope that Stampin' Up! Continues to bring out product and continues to support memory keeping and does more with scrapbooking. I think that will be amazing. I'm not impressed with what they're doing. There are so many other companies that are doing it so much better that I would prefer to support and purchase from, and so that's what I'm going to do. I just don't have any, as I've seen what they're coming out with and what they're doing and the approach they're taking, I'm not impressed and I don't want to be a part of it. And that's just a personal choice for me in walking away from Stampin' Up! In general. I will still use their ink pads. I will still use the cardstock that I have. I haven't seen anything in the this last year that I've really wanted to purchase. I have hardly purchased anything from Stampin' Up! Just because there's nothing that I'm interested in. There's nothing that I get so excited about that I just want to craft with from Stampin' Up! And that's okay. There's tons of other companies out there. And I will say, as a side note, I never enjoyed the atmosphere from Stampin' Up! That you're not allowed to think about, look at, purchase, use other company product. It's not a rule. You can, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. As a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can use whatever you want. You just can't make money from it. So, but there is an atmosphere in Stampin' Up! That if you use other product, demonstrators are not nice to you. I experienced that for many years. demonstrators were unkind to me because I used other product and because I didn't think that Stampin' Up! Was the answer for everything. I love crafting. I got into crafting for crafting. I didn't get into crafting for Stampin' Up. So I never enjoyed that outlook or that view of crafting with Stampin' Up. It was very hard for me, and demonstrators were very, very hurtful. And so I am using anything that I want. That's basically my view on crafting as of right now is I'm using whatever I want. I'm using the things that I'm excited about, that I want to use. I'm supporting companies that I want to support. I will continue to use Stampin' Up! Product. I'm not throwing all my stuff out and not using anything from them. I just will use what I have, and I don't really have a plan to purchase product. If something comes up that I really love, sure, I would consider getting it, but I'm just not really following Stampin' Up! Or what they're doing. I'm not impressed with their current stuff, and so I'm just using other things. So this video is not to bash Stampin' Up! In any way. I'm sharing my experience because I've always shared in a very honest way. And I know there will be people who were previously with me with Stampin' Up! Watch this video, or customers that will watch this video. I want to be very transparent that I do have certain feelings, about what is happening, and I don't want to be involved with Stampin' Up! On that level anymore. But I'm not here to bash Stampin' Up! They do have great core products. I love their ink pads. I love their cardstock. I don't currently love any of their pattern paper or any of the scrapbooking stuff they're coming out with, but that doesn't mean that, they won't come out with things in the future that will be great, or, that I wouldn't like, or that I won't pick up occasionally. So that just brings me, that wraps up this, I feel like wraps up my Stampin' Up! Journey, and just the different things I've done with Stampin' Up. If you are a customer and you want to place one last order with me, you can do that. I will be a demonstrator through the 20th of September. I appreciate everybody who's ordered with me in the past, no matter what it has been for, if it's been for a paper party or an order. All of those things greatly helped me and my family for many, many years. It is something that I will forever be thankful for. I learned so much being a demonstrator. I not only learned so much about myself, but I was able to travel. It opened up so many doors for me. I met people that I'm so thankful that I met, and I loved crafting and doing the things that I've done. And I'm just ready to now move on. So that brings me to what is in the future here? Like, what am I planning on doing? And I will try to remember to come back and add timestamps so you can get through this. I know this is a really long video and I'm just chatting, and I hope you don't mind just me chatting and sharing my heart. But what is my plan for the future? So I am still here on YouTube. I'm still posting. You see, I post a lot of memory keeping related content. That is what my heart's desire is. I have a membership here on YouTube. I also have a website where I have a membership as well. We have a Facebook group, and I do all the things memory keeping. My heart's desire is really to help other people do memory keeping projects, whatever that looks like, to be able to teach classes regarding memory keeping. The membership that I have opened up is literally just to help me continue to run my online presence. So when you have a website and you have email lists and you have YouTube, there is a cost involved with that. And As I'm not doing Stampin' Up anymore and I don't have that income coming in, I do need to find a way to be able to have those costs covered. And then I would still like to be able to do this online in a capacity that I can contribute to my family in different ways. That's helpful for us and our family and me being home. And many of you know that I have a special needs child, Violet. She's autistic, so being home with her and being available to do all the things is very helpful. And so that is my goal, is to be able to still do that. And that is why I have the memberships. Now, I know that a lot of people, I think this is like the trendy thing to do right now, is to be somebody who has a bunch of affiliate links. And I've gotten advice over this last year that I should do affiliate links. And if you're not familiar, what that means is you can sign up with a company, and if you share their product and you share a link and somebody uses that link to purchase something, then you get a commission. It's actually the exact same thing that Stampin' Up does. When you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you are basically an affiliate for Stampin' Up. You sell their product, you share, and you hope that people buy that product from you, and then you get a commission for it. There's other ways you earn money through Stampin' Up, so it's not strictly commission affiliate style, but that's basically what you're doing. So there's a lot of advice. There's a lot of people going into these affiliate links. When you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you cannot be an affiliate for any other company. Stampin' Up does not want you selling, Simon Says stamps to people. They want you to sell Stampin' Up stamps to people, right? So I've gotten a lot of advice about becoming an affiliate. And I do have several things that are set up to be an affiliate. I have an Amazon storefront that has products that if you click on those links, I do get a commission from Amazon. It's not incredible. It's not like some hundreds of dollars I'm raking in every month because I share an Amazon storefront. I originally started the storefront so that I could organize all of the things I was asked about when I was sharing different things. All of that will remain, but I am not going to become one of those channels that is like, oh, my 10 favorite things from Amazon. Come click and look at this and click on all my links and help me make money. That's not where I want to be. And here's the thing, I don't really care what other people are doing. I will tell you, I'm sick of watching those videos or having those videos pop up from crafty people that I follow. And it's like all of a sudden, the only videos that they post are videos where they're saying, click on my link, click on my link, click on my link. I'm really tired of it. And I've stopped watching people and I've unsubscribed from people when that's their entire YouTube channel, for sure, if somebody's using something, like a perfect example, I have this rechargeable hot glue gun. If somebody said to me, hey, where did you get that hot glue gun? I'm in the market for a new hot glue gun. I would say, well, I got it on Amazon, and there is a link in my Amazon storefront that you can get that, and it will help me out. But I'm not going to turn into one of those channels that are out there looking for product that I can say, go click on my link. I will also not be only using product that benefits me if you click on it. I use a lot of Ali Edwards' product. She doesn't have an affiliate program. So I'm not going to stop using Ali Edward product because I can't be an affiliate. My membership here on YouTube and on my website is there for people who want to see extra content. I provide a lot of extra content through those avenues, and it's there if you want to support me. I would love that. I appreciate everybody who's joined and has been a part of my memberships. But my goal is that if you're supporting me, if you want to support me, it's through me being able to teach and put up classes and courses and content, and you can support me by watching that content. And I still put out just as much public content as I do in my membership. I put out 2 videos a week for my membership, and I put out 2 videos a week most of the time that are public videos. So I'm not trying to hide all of my content and make it only paid, but that is the way, if somebody's going to support me, I want it to be through the avenue of me giving back and teaching, not just having a link that I want you to click on to, you know, so that I can get a commission check. It's just not the space that I want to be in. I don't ever want to make a choice again to not use product that I love because I can't make money on it. I feel like I really became very resentful of having to do that for many years and feeling like I couldn't do the memory keeping that I wanted to do because it wasn't supported. So I hope that if you have questions or thoughts or you know, I would love for you to leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm not here to judge anybody for anything that they are doing. If there are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that is where they're so happy and they are happy with the product that's coming out and they want to do that, I think it's wonderful. It's what I did for many years. And again, I never want to take that experience for granted or all of the things that were really amazing about my time with Stampin' Up. I appreciate it so much, and I feel like if that is the space that somebody is at, I think it is wonderful for them. I don't want to be in that space anymore, and I don't want to be on YouTube just pushing product for people to purchase. I really want to be in this YouTube space to create connections with people, to honestly craft with you, like create and share. That's what I've always wanted to do. That is my heart's desire. That is why I wanted to do this video, sharing a fall wreath that I wanted to make, that I've wanted to make for several weeks. I want to be in a space with those that are watching my video. I want to be crafting and sharing. And I will say that I never, even when I was doing Stampin' Up, every video I ever did was never just about purchase this product from me. I was crafting and making cards and making projects, and if you wanted to the same product that I had, then you could support me by purchasing that product. That was always my approach. So I hope that you have gotten a little something out of this video, that you understand where I'm coming from and what I am wanting to do. Again, I appreciate everybody who's here. If you're watching my videos, I appreciate it. I don't want anybody to ever feel like the only way they can consume content from me is by paying for it or being a part of a membership or clicking on product and supporting me in that way. I am here to craft and share with you, and however you choose to support me, either by liking the video, sharing the video, becoming a member, I appreciate all of that. So thank you so much for listening to this very chatty video. I'm going to wrap up this fall wreath here and share with you how it came out. And I just appreciate everybody who is here. All right, I'm going to end this chit chat video with the final look. So I know this looks a little weird, and I still have to hot glue this one down, and then I'll flip it over and I'll reinforce it a little bit. I think I'm gonna move this one in a little bit so it doesn't stick out so much. And then this will be here like this. Yeah, this one definitely needs to probably come in a little bit. I wish I would have had more paper like this, because this design would have looked better over here, but I needed one last like larger one. So I probably will move this in. I'm having to charge my glue gun again. And then I do have one, I've cleaned up the mess, and what I have left is this one here. I don't know, maybe I could put that there, or maybe I could put this here like so, and then do one more, and it would be this design, and put it up here just so it filled in a little bit. That's the only thing, is sometimes depending on like all the different sizes you have, like I would have liked this one to stick out a little bit more. So I don't know, maybe, see, it's like that makes it uneven. It's like this needs to be here, which I could put it underneath. And then if I had one more right here, that might fill it in. Well, so anyways, that is my fall paper wreath. I will, once my glue gun gets charged, I will fix these two minor, this one might even just come out, and I might be able to just move it around a little bit. But it's like, I feel like I do need one more right here. So I'll fix that, but that is my video for today. Tomorrow I'll be back with my Project Life Weekly. We're gonna get that kicked back off starting tomorrow. So join me for tomorrow's video. And thank you all for being here, watching the video, and hanging out with me. I'll catch you in my next video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Here are 2 other videos up on the screen that you can take a look at. I would love for you to like this video, share this video if you would like, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more crafty videos. Thank you so much again for being here, and I will catch you in my very next video.